Welcome back to my backyard snack yard. Today is so exciting because my pink currants are turning pink and the birds haven't eaten them yet. This is really a rare occurrence. Usually the birds eat them way before they start changing color. They are so beautiful. And if I let them hang for just a little bit longer, they'll be so perfectly sweet and so delicious. So I am actually going to cover them now, if I can. I have some little mesh bags. Let me get them out. The bags weren't that perfect, but I did notice something. Birds have already been here in action and have managed to grab a few of the berries. So I'm going to get some bigger mesh cloth and just protect them now. They only need like another 2 days at most, I think, of hanging to sweeten up properly. You can see over here, there's another one. And the berries are much paler over here. And I probably should also cover this one up. They fruit all along stems here. Those ones are even less pink. So they could do with some protection from the birds. And here we have some white currants. They aren't as big as the pink ones because they just have a little bit of growing to do before they start ripening up. But I'm going to cover them as well. And those ones too. The birds often pop into this area here because there are so many raspberries. And the peas are coming too. So they do love popping around here and finding lots of tasty treats. I don't mind sharing with the birds. I love having garden birds. They're like a little beautiful cleanup crew that keep the snail population in check and everything else. But I would like to have a few berries. They just tend to clean them up, eat them completely, all the berries, if I leave them uncovered. So far, I have also left the blueberries uncovered this year, which seems quite risky. And I keep meaning to cover them because the blueberries are really nice and large now. And they could do with some protection. Very often I've seen blackbirds sit in these very high bush blueberries. They're super tall. They're sitting there munching away. But even worse, I see them coming in here when the berries were still quite green, even before they're at this stage, and just pick them and chuck them everywhere just for fun, I guess. I don't know why they would do it. Maybe they're tasting them. But I guess now they know that they need to wait until these berries are blue. So I will be having to cover them up. I really ought to cover them up very soon. Because these are such tasty berries. And such big ones too. It's really fun having them up against this window because I can look out at them on rainy days and just see them out in the garden. They have loved all the rainfall we had because they really need rainwater. Our tap water can sort of take away the acidity after a while, and they need that. So rainwater is best for them. But let's go and find some mesh now. I have some from the previous years. So there it is. Just a few of them are protected now. It takes quite a bit of work to get them like this. And you can see I've used some really fine mesh because if you use some with bigger holes, it does create more airflow and maybe is better for plants, but the birds can get their really delicate legs stuck in it, and that I want to avoid at all costs. And also, I know the birds are really hungry right about now, and I do feed them proper bird food, but I've also left a few of the berries uncovered so they can enjoy them too, because I'm sure they've been looking at them and waiting for them to ripen, and I don't want to disappoint them. My sweet little garden birds, especially my favorite, the robins. There are quite a few down here actually for them, so they will have a feast. And maybe they might leave a few for me, but they don't tend to, so I'm not counting my chickens. I'm expecting these to go to the birds. But I have these lovely ones up here, which will ripen in the sun soon, hopefully. And then we can enjoy them. I'm gonna go over and cover those ones too. You can see they're already turning a bit yellow, and that indicates that they're really getting ripe. And these guys are now protected as well, the pink ones. It really does not look that attractive at all, but it will keep them safe and snug. And it's only for a very limited amount of time because these berries are so close to being perfectly ripe. We also do have a few dry days because I think if it's wet, it could cause some mildew issues, which these kind of berries here, these lovely currants, are a little bit prone to. So we wouldn't want that. But it should be fine. Oh, and look down here. My blood orange is turning nice and orange. Some proper red currants. These are much more common, I would say. We use them a lot in Denmark. They're so beautiful. They're also quite tart, and I just love the flavor. But I am kind of, well, you can see lots of them have been picked off already. There's quite a few in there as well. I'm really not entirely sure about covering these up. Is it worth it? Probably. Let me just see what I can do. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth it. Aren't they gorgeous though? They look like little bright jewels. The few ones that are left. I guess I should have covered them earlier if I was going to cover them. I could always pick the red ones. I think they're ripe now. That is so the taste of summer for me. So delightful. A really burst of acidity, but there's this freshness. Lovely berry flavor. I so love them. I'm definitely going to pick the red ones because they are ready to go. And I'll leave the other ones, and then the birds can maybe munch on them, but I will come and check on them every so often and see if I can get a few more. They're so good. In Denmark, they tend to ripen a bit later, and so they're more like a midsummer berry for me. But oh my goodness, they're good. So good. I love them. If you don't like sour things, they might not be for you, but they're so good in my opinion. Honestly, I'm so tempted to cover these wonderful Big Ben ones, black currants, because they are so full of beautiful berries this year, but it's really going to be hard to get down there. And as you can see, some of them are really ripening now already. So maybe I should just leave it. It's so tricky though. It's because I know how hungry those birds get. But let me just show you how big these guys are. Look at that. Just let me compare them to some of the other ones. Here's the size comparison. You got like a little white currant down there with a black currant. Now the black currants, this cultivar is supposed to be extra large. It's called Big Ben. And I mean, I find them really tasty. I know some people don't like currants in general, or black currants at least, but I love the flavor. I think they're nice and sharp. People make lots of jams out of them. In the UK, they're really popular to make a drink out of, like cordial, that you mix up with lots of water for children. And it's full of vitamins too. It's really good for you. Well, I'm not sure if the cordial is, but the berries themselves are full of vitamins. So yeah, but you can see just how big that cultivar certainly produces humongous berries. And these ones here are just about ripe. I think they could be a little bit blacker before we pick them, but I'm not going to cover the plant just because it's in such a densely planted area. It just makes it really tricky to get to them, and it will really severely impact the airflow down there. So we're going to leave it to chance and hope the birds don't eat them all, but I am going to cover my blueberries now for sure. Here's another interesting thing. You can see the difference in sizes depending on which cultivar you get. These blueberries here are called Pink Lemonade, and they produce pink blueberries, which are super tasty and taste a bit like lemonade. But the berries themselves, you can see just how tiny they are compared to, well, I'm not sure if it's easy to compare them when they're not right up against each other, but these ones are just so big. all these berries. I mean, these plants are really quite old now, I would say. I wonder if they're like 12 years old or something. I've just had them in pots for years and years. And I bought them in the supermarket originally, so I don't actually remember the name of the cultivar. Which is a bit of a shame, because it's always fun to know what you're growing. But they are so much bigger than the pink ones. And I actually think that the pink ones might get bigger as they mature, as the plants themselves mature. We're getting quite a few berries this year. I also think the berries, I mean, they will eventually get bigger because they're not even close to ripeness yet. I think they ripen maybe in August or September. These ones here, the blue ones, tend to ripen a bit earlier because they are in such a sunny position that other blueberries in our area, because we go to a pick your own blueberry farm, and that one tends to start producing berries you can come and pick in August. Whereas these ones, by that time, my berries are all picked usually. My blueberries anyhow. But I'm not sure if you can see the difference, but these ones are so much smaller than these ones. Alright, I best get covering them up now. So we are getting there. I'm just going to close the two ends of these nets with clothespins. Very simple, because then I can also open them up easily when I want to get in and pick the berries. But it does not look attractive, does it? So I'm looking forward to taking them off in a couple of weeks. I think it'll be sort of the end of July, and we're only in June now. We'll see how soon they ripen. It will be interesting, and I'll keep them watered. But yeah, it is a little bit of a shame, but it does pay off because it means all these berries will be safe. There are certain areas where the birds can get in, so I really want to close them up with my clothespins. And I can feel there's rain in the air, so I better get moving. So there we are, they're all packaged up. So they can slowly ripen without being picked off. And what I tend to do is, once I've picked the large bulk of them, I will unwrap the bushes and let the birds have the last bits, because I really don't like to make them miss out on berries that I know they've been looking forward to as well. It's only fair to share. But I'm pleased to have done this now, especially because otherwise the birds just do eat them indiscriminately while they're still unripe. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.